Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Yes. Would you like to talk about today's
Yeah.
goal?
Yes. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone here, guest speakers, um, participants, and especially all the facilitators. Today's goal will be SDG 4, Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which is quality education. As we all know, education is the very foundation of every human being's mental development. Let it be, how old are you? It starts from home. The first education are from the parents. Parents are our first mentors. So if every child get a good educated parents, then every child will get a proper initial education, especially moral education, because moral is also the base. It's very important. It's no point one is highly educated, collecting scrolls after scrolls, but does not have a good moral values, no empathy. They don't have any other good virtues, any other virtues other than their education alone. Education alone, higher education alone cannot take anyone anywhere. Even if you want to apply for a job after your studies, after you obtain your degrees, maybe you have done masters and PhD, but if you don't know how to carry yourself, if you don't know how to behave at workplace, dress at workplace, communicate, blend into your colleagues, and whatever rules and regulations set by your company, you can never achieve your personal goals as well as your company goals. Therefore, education is very crucial for each and every individual, whether you have children or not. And what more if you have children? You have to give them proper moral education, early education before they start school. Because how you bring up your children will be how they behave in school. Now the lives of educators are not easy, not light like before. It is extremely heavy for them. What more if they have their family of their own? They are working like round the clock. After school, they come back home, they have to attend to their family and personal needs. Then they go back again to complete all their works for the next day. So let us support educators. Let us educate ourselves in every area of our lives. Let it be a tertiary education, skills, or even moral values. And in SDG, we have 17 goals. And if we know, we learn, we understand all these 17 goals, we all can be good leaders for our future generation. We can be the eye, the brain behind the success of many. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Madam Isra, for your wonderful thoughts and your wonderful words. Let's move ahead with the session. Is Dr. Floriana logged in with us? No, we don't have our guest speakers, yes, among us. Okay. Is Dr. Shanavas here? Not yet. Dr. Shanavas, are you there amongst us? Okay, no problem. We can move ahead with Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve Christopher, host, please unmute the mic of Dr. Steve Christopher. Yes. Dr. Steve, you are now the co-host. You may please begin with your speech for the day. Dr. Steve, am I audible to you? If anybody needs any technical assistance, please,
Uh, I saw Dr. Steve just now. He's here actually.
I'm here. I'm here.
yeah, he
Yeah,
would. Yes, sir.
welcome, Dr. Steve.
Thank you very much. So it's my turn to share.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so please allow me to share my PowerPoint. Okay,
yes, sir. You have been given the rights.
okay. So good day to everyone. So my topic for today, of course, it's all about the quality education. But I will focus on the life skills. Okay, I will focus on life skills. We have this top 5 priority investment in our life. Okay, so we have to give this priority. So number 1 is a skills. Number 2 is a knowledge. Number 3, we have to focus on our health, especially in this pandemic time. So number 4, of course, it's our character and personality. So these are the top 5 priority investment that we should be focused on. And these are also the 5 important components of a quality education. Okay. So in this 21st century education, so we focus more on performance-based learning. So we don't want our students just to stay inside the four corner of the classroom and listen to the teacher whatever they say. So we have to let our students to uh, learn education through action. So that's why we call this as performance-based learning. So if we define this performance-based learning, this is an approach to teaching and learning that emphasizes students being able to do or perform in a specific skills as a result of instruction. So we still focus on the skills. Okay. So we also allow the students to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in a learning environment that embraces their higher order thinking skills as well as relating it into the real world situations. We have to teach our students how to survive in these real world situations. Okay, we just don't let them learn something from our school and they can even um, how we say they can even use what they learn inside the school in this real world. So the aim of this performance-based learning is to acquire and apply knowledge and to practice skills also, of course, to develop independent and collaborative work habits. So that's why I have to share something in the Philippine settings. So of course, Philippines, I think 8 years ago, we implement 8 or 9 years ago, the government instructed us to fully implement this K-12 program. Because before we just only have this 4 years high school. Right now, we have this 4 years junior high school and 2 years senior high school. We have 2 years for our high school stage. So that's why it's become K-12 program. So in our the part of the curriculum of this grade 12 program is there is a OJT program, on-job training program. So the goal of this OJT is to provide instruction and practice opportunity so that the inexperienced learner can develop their knowledge, skills, and competencies required to perform their job tasks associated with his or her job role. So we want our students before they go to college, okay, because I'm in this basic education, before they go to college, they knew what they're going to do in the future in this real world. Okay. So I just share you something about our current education issues in the Philippines. Of course, during this COVID-19 time, okay, you know, education issues in the Philippines has increased and received new challenges that worsen the current state of the country. So we all knew these ones. So suddenly everything changed. Okay, from physical class to online class. Okay, from the old curriculum, we have to develop a new curriculum that will suit in this pandemic time or in these new normal situations. So there's a lot of concern arises. So parents and guardians' top concerns are this. As we have this interview, some parents, they said, number one, they don't have money for the loan. Not in Philippines, not all students, they can afford to have this, especially public school, they can afford to have this Wi-Fi. They're using the data mobile, okay? So not all the students have this laptop, so they use their cell phone. So one of the concern is money for the mobile load. They have to buy the load. They don't have the gadgets. Of course, if there's a internet signal, there's Wi-Fi signal, it's a poor internet signals, and students struggle to focus on and to learn online. That is the common problem everywhere. And parents lack of knowledge of their kids' lesson, because everything we have changed this everything. Okay, it's shifted from the old normal styles to these new normal styles. Okay, so what are the this causes the problem in quality, in the budget, in the cost, and there's a lot of out of school youth because they don't have money to go to schools, and they don't have these gadgets, they cannot attend the classes, and of course there's a mismatch problem, okay, and social divide and lack of resources. So these are the problem that arises during this pandemic time. Then, with this new normal, DepEd or Department of Education designed the basic education learning continuity plan. So that's why we have this face-to-face, this homeschool study, distance learning, or blended learning. Okay, lots of learning styles came out. They comes out, and it's up to the school to choose what kind of modality they want to implement to their students. Okay, but the bottom line, it's not what kind of learning delivery in the education we have to choose, but we have to improve the life skills of the students. Okay, how much knowledge we impart to our students, how we teach them inside the schools, but if they're poor in their life skills, it's nothing for them. So in Philippines, the first part is written in Tagalog in our Philippine language, but if we translate it into English, why we have to improve these life skills? Because it should be supported, because that's how we targeted skills. It is not know how, rather it's a capacity on how you're able to do something. So we have to teach our students how to survive in this real world. Okay, so when we define these life skills, we define as a group of psychosocial competencies and interpersonal skills that help people make informed decisions, solve problems, etc. So these are from the Mind Journal. They have point out 10 life skills that students or the present generations they should learn. Okay, they should master it. So the effective communications, interpersonal skills, decision making, problem solving, creative and critical thinking, self-awareness and empathy, emotional intelligence, time management, resilience, and self-management. In my observation in my schools, the biggest problem is the resilience. So out of all these life skills, okay, resilience is the biggest problem. And next to it is emotional intelligence. Okay. And one of the biggest problem also is they do not know how to decision making, and they don't know how to solve the problem. Okay. So particularly when we check the present generations, we're still under our generation right now is this generation Y, the millennials, generation Z, or the new generation is the generation Alpha. But they have these common things is, number one, they are all digital natives. Number two, technology is the part of their everyday lives already. You cannot just get it away from their life. Okay. Number three, because of this technology, everything's become so fast. So that leads to lack of patience and resilience. Okay. Then the attention span is limited, and one of the characteristics, they are lazy, narcissistic, and they are spoiled. So unlike the previous generation, because of this present economic crisis, the world requires them to be better trained to get a job as competition is increasing. So how can they survive in this full of competitions, this competitive world, if their life skills are so poor. Okay, so then how can you plan to develop life skills in our students? Okay, just these simple 5 things only. Number 1, we use learning beyond the classroom. Don't this is also another term that I'm saying is we have to implement this performance-based learning for the students. Let them learn education through action. Okay, let them experience that they have to experience. Let them experience the failure in life and teach them how to stand up again. Okay, everything. That it's not only inside the corner of the classrooms and we just open the book, we just read everything and listen to the teacher, and then we use paper and pen to take examinations. No. So we have to go beyond the classroom, and then we teach them how teach collaboration as the values of and skill set. Okay, very important is the collaborations. Okay, no man is an island, and we have to learn how to work together, and of course build on evaluation analysis. And it's not based on what we have studied, we have seen, and whatever is the grades through paper and pen examinations. We have to evaluate everything, analyze everything. We have to understand them, and of course teach them that being how to become tolerant and resilient. And of course we have to help our students learn through their strengths. Okay, so in order for us to better understand these things, so to remember this one, we just remember the word BSETs. Okay, beyond the classrooms, collaborations, evaluations, analysis, tolerance and resilience, and of course the strengths. Okay, so before I end my presentations today, I always tell my teachers also, my colleagues also, don't focus too much on the knowledge. We have to teach them how to use the knowledge, to implement the knowledge, and to develop their life skills. This is the only way now they can survive this post-pandemic era, this post-pandemic time. Okay, so again, thank you very much. I hope you learned something from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Steve. It was a wonderful presentation. And as most of us belong to the education department, most of us sitting today on this platform are educators from maybe different part of the world. But your message is really valued a lot. It is really important in today's day to put in and to develop more of interpersonal skills rather than the hard skills which are put into students today. Normally, we are focusing more on the hard skills rather than the soft skills, which is actually equally important to that. So, thank you very much, Dr. Steve. Would you like to do the gesture so that we can, yes, take a screenshot? Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lisa ma'am, the full photograph has, मतलब उनका full photograph आ गया है क्या, Steve sir का?
Yes, let me just check.
हाँ जी.
Technical team, please give him the spotlight so that we can the complete screen photo.
Dr. Steve, please
Yes,
wait.
ma'am.
Yeah, please wait and please switch on your camera. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. We are giving you a spotlight, sir.
Yes, kindly give him a spotlight so we can. Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to please Dr. Steve, would you please like to? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we have taken it. Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Supriya, are you going to take it ahead or should I continue?
No, ma'am. You have to conduct the whole session. Dr. Steve, it is a request. Actually, on the 10 o'clock, we are going to live from the Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management. So it's a request, sir, to amazing the live conference, to have the experience of the amazing live conference. Sir, please be with us, sir.
Yes, it is really going to be an amazing experience. The students are going to be live telecasted from their college, from their very own Land India, and they are going to share their thoughts and views on the goal of the day. So,
Yes.
moving ahead with today's session, we have Josephine. Hi, Josephine. Good morning. Good morning, Josephine. Are you there amongst us? Kindly give Josephine the right to share her
Yes,
PPT.
ma'am. She's closed now.
Yes. Yes. So, Josephine belongs to Nigeria. She is a global social entrepreneur, an author, as well as an educator. So, welcome here once again, and the virtual platform is yours.
Okay, thank you for having me. Thank you very much. So do I start? Do I begin?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, fantastic. All right, thank you very much, great educators. It's a privilege and an honor to be amongst you. Okay, so today I'll go straight to talking about certain things that relate to us as educators. I'll start with a quote from Nelson Mandela, and he says, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." So if we think of changing the world, then education is that tool that can enable us change the world. A lot of times we focus on so many other things, but we don't understand the fact that the education has been given to us to make sure that certain things happen. Without being able to educate the child, we are not able to educate the family, we're not able to educate the community, and of course the world at large. So it all starts with the child, the very one child that we're faced with. So I'm in the four walls of a classroom. I have maybe 10, 20 children. If I'm able to impact those 20 children, then it means that those 20 children can go and impact their family. And the chain reaction is that they can impact the society, and the ripple effects will be felt all around the world. So I'll go to my next quote. This one is from Confucius. It says, "Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope, and hope breeds peace." At no time in the world do we need peace as much as the times that we're in. We've experienced a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, and now we know that if we don't have peace, there's certain things that just will not happen. We will not get to the point where we are developed if we don't have peace. So education is what brings peace to each and every one of us. So whether you're in Asia or you're in Africa, you're in North America, you're in South America, you're in Australia, every part of the world, peace is a very, very important aspect of our lives. And peace is like a currency, a world currency. Once we have peace, we can access any other thing. And of course, we know that it's education that brings about peace. I'd also like to finally quote George Washington Carver. He says, "Education is the key that unlocks the golden door to freedom." A lot of people are not free. Now, to get free, it means that we must be able to come to that point where we embrace education. Education gives us the freedom and the liberty to be able to do anything we want to do. So how do we get things done as educators? It's very simple. First things first, I must decide that I'm not ordinary. I must decide that I have superpowers. And because I'm an educator and I have superpowers, it means I can save humanity. It means I can save the next child. I can save whoever it is that encounters me. So education is the greatest superpower anyone can have. Now, how do we make sure that the powers that we have, we use it to benefit humanity? It's very simple. First things first, I must tell myself that because I'm a superhero, I shouldn't sit in the place, be able to take and go to the places of problems. And where there are problems, I can fix those problems. Now, imagine Superman. Of course, we know Superman, we know Wonder Woman. Imagine them sitting in a place. What would happen? nothing would happen. There'll be so much crime, there'll be so much confusion. But guess what? When there's a problem, all that needs to happen is for them to place a call. So we as educators come to that point where if people can just place a call, then we can come to save the day. How do we save the day? We save the day through knowledge. Knowledge is the greatest tool. If we talk about education, we should talk about ability to acquire information. Information is the new gold. Then how do we get information? It's basically through knowledge. Knowledge opens the door for information. So now there are times when the kids want information. Things are not the same way it used to be. There's a new normal now. I work with kids and I understand the fact that they don't want to sit back in the classroom and then have to listen to one teacher standing in front of the board. They want to be able to get into a relationship with you. First of all, when they build relationship with you, then they are able to learn whatever it is that you want to teach them. Those days growing up, it used to be difficult to learn mathematics because most of our mathematics teachers used to have a very straight face. They will come into class and then they'll be all uptight like this. But the time comes when now maths has become fun. Now, because maths is fun, a lot of children are getting to the point where they love maths. And that's the point where we're getting to. Now, how did we arrive there? We arrived there as the information we started to get. I appreciate, the education system in India. It's just so beautiful. When kids are trying to learn their sounds, guess what happens? There's a beautiful Indian teacher that comes and she begins to dance and to sing, and the kids are interested. Now, gone are those days where you have to tell them formulas and things for that answers. Now, we play with them. When we play with them, the kids are interested because they know that we love them. And because they know we love them, they want to learn those very difficult things that we have to teach them. All right. So now I want to deviate and go to another point where I'm talking about how to achieve quality education. Now, how do we achieve quality education? The truth about the matter is that you cannot give what you do not have. So if I'm talking about quality education, it means I'm giving a lot. It means that I have so much on the inside of me. I've been able to acquire all the knowledge, the skills, the expertise. And of course, emotional intelligence is another aspect where we as educators, we must focus on. A lot of times, because we have emotional intelligence, we're able to better handle the situations that come our way. So first things first is the skills. We must develop our skills, we must build our skills. And building our skills makes it happen that those skills will be utilized to make sure that education is not just education, but it is quality education. The next thing is infrastructure. The infrastructure we have, it goes a long way in determining whether we would have quality education or not. So we must focus our time on making sure that no matter how small our spaces are, it could be just a small classroom. We could do beautiful classroom designs and make it conducive for ourselves and of course the children. Thank God for the ability for the government to help us. But a lot of times we must play our part in making sure that the infrastructure we have is conducive enough to be able to transfer the knowledge that we have to give to the children. The next thing is extracurricular activities. A lot of times, especially in Africa, there are times when we just focus a lot on just curricular activities. Curricular activities is fantastic, but we must be able to go beyond having curricular activities to having extracurricular activities. So we've infused things such as reading, writing. We've introduced things such as ballet, dance, drama, and all of that. What that does is that it makes the kids develop their skills in other areas, not just in the cognitive areas. Then we go to the next point. The government plays a great role in making sure that we have quality education. If the government plays its part, the chances of us getting quality education is higher than when the government does not play its role. The next thing is community building. A lot of times, we must go beyond the four walls of our classroom to build our communities. One of the things I do with the kids in my community is to make sure that we have a reading club. In the reading club, we make time to read. Not only that, we make time to develop other skills, especially performing arts skills. Kids love performing arts skills. They love to sing, they love to dance, they love poetry, they love drama, they love all of those things. Now, because they love those things, we infuse it in the book club, and it makes them want to keep coming to get information. And of course, we know that every child must be motivated one way or the other. So one way to motivate them is to do the things that they like. So we infuse reading with performing arts, and work greatly. And then finally, I'll also talk about assessment and evaluation. To achieve quality education, from time to time, we must engage in assessing the children, assessing the teachers, assessing the educational system. And of course, when we do all that, guess what? We'll have better education. I want to wrap up my session by saying that the most effective means to achieve sustainable goal development is through quality education. And we must take it upon ourselves as educators to make sure that we have quality education. That will be all for now. I hope you've learned one thing. I hope you've learned something. Thank you very much. God bless you. Namaste. I hope I got it right.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much for that, Josephine. It was a wonderful saying by you. You've given us immense of knowledge today, how to deal with these young kids from different parts of the country. I really liked the first sentence which you had said in the beginning was, if you can even motivate, or if you can even change one child, it can really make a impact. It can really make a difference, and this is the reality. Just in case if you're not able to focus on all the children, it's fine. Even if you're focusing on one, that can make a difference, that can make a change. So once again, I would like everybody to give a round of applause on the online platform. Yes. Josephine, I would request you to please do this gesture so that we get a screen.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear Josephine, for joining us. Thank you very much. Actually, it's my pleasure to have you in this global platform, dear. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Yes, dear. Dear, I would like to request you, please be with us because on 10 o'clock we have the live streaming from the very renowned and very prestigious college of the Central India. So, dear, please be with us.
Okay, I will.
Okay, okay, dear. Okay. Lisa, ma'am, please be continue.
Next, we are moving to
Lisa,
Dr.
ma'am, just hold on. Actually, I would like to also request technical team, please make me co-host because more, yeah.
Yes, please. That is necessary.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You are co-host now.
Yes, thank you very
Do we
much.
have Dr. Muthu along with us in the group today?
No, ma'am. Dr. Muttamina is not with us, but Dr. Louis with us. Dr. Louis, are you ready?
Dr.
Yes,
Louis,
ready. Good morning.
good
Oh,
morning.
Lord.
Good morning, Doctor.
Yes. Yes, very warm welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, here I would like to mention that Dr. Lewis has joined us on the request of Dr. Rania Lampu. So, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It is our great honor to have you in this global platform, sir. Lisa, ma'am, please be continue with the Lewis, sir.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Lewis, and a warm welcome to you. Yes. The
Good
whole
morning.
platform, the whole platform is yours. Happy to have you amongst us today. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So good morning and greetings from Portugal. So first of all, I would like to thank the kind invitation to participate and of course convey my warmest regards to the organizers, to our hosts, our esteemed speakers, and most of all to Dr. Supriya Patak and Professor Rania Lampu. So, my dear colleagues and my dear friends, as we all know, Sustainable Development Goal 4 has 10 targets, encompassing many different aspects of education. There are 7 targets which are expected outcomes and 3 targets which are means of achieving these targets and are connected with the Education 2030 Framework for Action. The Education 2030 Framework for Action, which provides guidance for implementing Education 2030, was discussed at the World Economic Forum in 2015, and its essential elements were agreed upon in the Incheon Declaration. It was finalized by the drafting group for the Education 2030 Framework for Action and adopted during a high-level meeting at UNESCO in Paris on 4th November 2015. The Framework for Action guidelines outlines how to translate into practice at country, national, regional, and global level the commitment made in Incheon. So it aims at mobilizing all countries and partners around sustainable development goal on education and its targets, and proposes ways of implementing, coordinating, financing, and monitoring Education 2030 to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and lifelong learning opportunities for all. It also proposes indicative strategies which countries may wish to draw upon in developing contextualized plans and strategies, taking into account different national realities, capacities, and levels of development, and respecting national policies and priorities. Schools, my dear colleagues and my dear friends, on the other hand, are now facing increasing demands to prepare students for rapid economic, environmental, and social changes, for jobs that have not yet been created, for technologies that have not yet been invented, and to solve social problems that have not yet been anticipated. So education can equip learners with the agency, the competencies, and the sense of purpose to shape their own lives and contribute to the lives of others. Children entering school now will be adults in 2030. So change is imminent, my dear friends, and we have to be ready to find out answers very fast. This is why the aim of the OECD's Education 2030, the Future of Education and Skills project, for example, is to support countries to find answers to 2 far-reaching questions. What knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values will today's students need to shape and thrive their world in 2030? And how can instructional systems develop these knowledge, these skills, attitudes, and values effectively? So this OECD Education 2030 position paper considers the challenges that young people will face and suggests the importance of the concept of learner agency, proposes an overarching learning framework with transformative competencies, reviews the nature of the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values that young people will need, and ends with possible curriculum design principles. So it encapsulates the key messages of the project so far. The 2030 Agenda, as we all know, also relies on education as the most powerful tool for personal and collective progress, one that allows us to build more prosperous, educated, and just societies. Note how beyond SDG 4 itself, education is necessary to achieve many of the other goals set out in the agenda. In fact, sustainability cannot be effective if it is not made into a paradigm by raising awareness and training everybody on the planet. The same can be said by building more just, supportive societies that recognize the equality of all people, or the advancement or a sustainable and innovative economy. So the 2030 Agenda doesn't forget the teaching profession either. Teachers, in the broadest sense of the word, are presented as key players in the transformation of the citizenship, as facilitators of a learning that understands diversity and develops the skills required to protect the environment and ensure peaceful coexistence. A veritable statement of intent, indeed. So for this reason, the foundational report for the quality education, SDG, Rethinking Education Towards a Global Common Good, UNESCO, from 2015, points out that we must work with teaching teams to improve their qualifications, increase their autonomy, and enhance their professional and employment status. All these elements present quality education as a common good that goes hand in hand with one of the cornerstones of the 2030 Agenda, that is knowledge. And knowledge, my dear friends and my dear colleagues, is of course truly connected to the basis of education, because education is the lifeline for our common future. Thank you so much for having me here. It was a great privilege and a great honor. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, would you like to do this gesture, sir?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Sir, a little bit, sir, up, sir. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Lisa, ma'am, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Cardos. Thank you for your valuable thoughts and for your valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, it was a great honor to be here and to be able to join you. Thank you.
Sir, it is my humble request. Please be with us. On 10 o'clock, sir, we have the live streaming directly from the renowned college of the Central India. So, sir, please be with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Supriya Pathak. Thank you. It will be a great pleasure as well. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. Lisa, ma'am, please continue.
We can move on with our next participant. That is Mohammad Zubair. Mohammad Zubair, are you there amongst us? Okay. I see Dr. Vasanta Kumar. Team technical, please unmute his mic. Dr. Kumar.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, a very good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please permit me to open my video.
Yes. Technical team, please take care of the needful.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Oh, it's clear, ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. I'm Dr. Vasanta Kumar from Tamil Nadu, Madurai, Assistant Professor of English, Saurashtra College, Madurai. And thanks for this wonderful opportunity, especially this quality of education. That's my point of view. What is quality of education? The quality need some ethics. The quality needs some values. So as a teachers, as a student, we want to learn a quality education with the seed of some values, some ethics. A good education need to produce a good people. There is a right students for the right place. That is my point. Basically, the education centers need some basic needs, that is eco-friendly system, digital environment, and good tutors. These are the basic needs. If a student is going to start their education, he need an eco-friendly system. Without a friendly system, they are not able to obtain their mind to this education system. Today, we are in digital value platform, but still we are not renovate our old values, that is old buildings and old systems. So what I mean here, first we want to prepare a good environmental in the building, in the teaching tools, in the curriculum designing, in all what we require. Before that, here I want to mention one thing for this quality education. We are binding a curriculum of syllabuses. We are ready to provide tools. We are ready to provide a good digital value platform to this world. In India, basically we have a more than 10,000 years cultural tradition in this world. Apart from the other countries, we depends always in cultural values, especially from Tamil Nadu. We are having a great traditional values. Recently, we discovered our traditional, historically, 1500 age before. But what is in education? There is a break between teachers and students. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, you're clear.
There is a break between teachers and students. That break will spoil all the criteria. B, India follow Gurukula education in the previous days. Now we are in a dangerous situation. From the all over the world, there is no responsibility of relationship between teachers and students. We are always focusing education, how to improve the education value, how to improve the syllabus, how to improve the curriculum, how to introduce new tools, how to improve the digital values, but how to improve the human values. Without human values, we are not able to build quality education. There are so many countries focused SDG 4 from this sustainable development. My opinion to enrich human values through this education, then only the education have a quality. If we need valuable education or value of education, again I remind, we are only concentrating curriculum, we are only concentrating tools, we are only concentrating digital education, but we are not concentrating the human values. In America, recently I heard the news. There are so many news, not only in America, in all those countries. A student beat this teacher. A teacher was suffering about students' behavior. Before that, the ma'am tell about the intellectual, emotional, and artistic values I observed from the chat box. What is intellectual? A man have a good relationship with the another man. A student have a good relationship with the teacher. If anybody agree, the past and present, there is a difference between the teacher and the student's relationship. So what I here mention, if you are ready to put as a teacher, as a professor, I'm ready to provide a good education. I'm ready to update myself for the present era. But there is no friendly relationship between the teachers and students. No one responds to teachers. Once upon a time, Rama was dependent the Vishwamitra in Gurukula. As you all know, who is Rama? The god of, the most probable supreme god of India. That Rama was belongs to a great family. His father was a king, but that is not a matter. Rama was one of the students of Vishwamitra. So Rama was under by the Vishwamitra, who was obtained all the discipline, all the values from the Vishwamitra only. But the era changed. From this modern era, no one understands the teacher's values. So there is a great break. In America, a student shot a professor, a gunshot. In India, there was so many issues. Even why it happened? Because of the values. So we want to introduce so much of value educations to the students. If a students learned a good education, if a student have a good knowledge in science, if a students have a good knowledge in arts, if a students have a physical science, if we have in social science, he have so many knowledge from his book. But without discipline, how he is going to stand his life? So we want to teach moral education. We want to introduce moral education in our curriculum. I think from my side, moral education only to promote the students in a high level. If you study science, if you study maths, if you study social science or a physical science or a mental or a medicine science, without moral education, a student doesn't have a quality. So quality education always depends on ethics and values. That ethics and values only provided by moral education. Today we means all those worlds in a dangerous situation. There are so many difficulties for teachers going to meet students. In between the teachers and students, there is no relationship. Especially after this pandemic era, we are in online. They are also in online, students and teachers. Somebody switch off the camera. What happened? If he learned or not, teacher does not able to observe it. Now the peoples are trying to enrich the blended learning. No problem. It depending on the periods. That means time. Time changes a lot. We are always depending upon the time. We mentioned we are in modern education. Okay, we are in modern education. But we want to produce students, good students, not a crime. Not a behavior is very, very important. That behavior only boosted by moral. What Bhagavad Gita, what Bible, what Quran says. If a man have a good obedience, a man have a good discipline, he is a good human being. If a man have a knowledge in science, if a man have a knowledge in arts, if a man have a knowledge in drawing, painting, they are not a good student. If they have a good knowledge, they must have a good moral. A disciplined man have a disciplined life. Even they only have a peaceful. Today we are in dangerous situation, though that I urge you all to promote through this STG, we are all need to promote moral education. As an Indian, this is my duty to promote moral education to this world. Even our Narendra Modi ji introduced the national education policy with the base of the moral. Here we have a lot of history in India, especially in the Gurukula education. So please have some notes from the Bhagavad Gita, what the moral education focus in Bhagavad Gita. Not only in Bhagavad Gita, in Quran, in Bible, it all focus only moral. Without moral education, we are not able to build quality of education. A quality need ethics and values. That ethics and values only from moral. So thank you so much for providing this wonderful opportunity. Especially I thank Supriya ma'am and his administration team for providing such a wonderful opportunity for me. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kumar. You have really spoken about the reality of today's check between the relationship of a teacher and a student. There is really a big gap between that relationship. And we all need to really focus more on the values, moreover on the moral values, moreover on the ethic developments, the humanity development. So thank you very much, Mr. Kumar, for being amongst us. I would request you to please do this gesture so that we get a beautiful picture.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, kindly please do this gesture as you are in the spotlight. Mr. Kumar, would you please mind doing this gesture? We have not yet clicked the picture. Yes, I just want you to join your hands and do this gesture so that get us. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so moving ahead, we will be calling upon Mr. Zubair. Good morning, Mr. Zubair.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning, all of you.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are pretty much audible and nice. It's a pleasure to having you amongst us. The virtual platform is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all the experts all the dignitaries who are here. And I am very thankful to the organizers. I am Mohammad Zubair, Assistant Professor of Special Education Learning Disabilities from Central University Jamia Millia Islamia Faculty of Education, New Delhi. And I was listening to everybody, and all were talking about the quality education or the importance of quality education, which play a vital role in our life. So to make quality education, a reality, we need to make it accessible to all, regardless of their physical, psychological, social, or cultural circumstances. I am working in the field of special education, and nowadays everybody is talking about the inclusive education. We have to give the equal opportunities to each and every individual of the society, or woman, man, children with special needs, special kids, orphans, tribes. So quality education is a multi-faceted concept. It's about things that happen inside and outside the classroom. And now new education policy is talking about the creativity and the accessibility and the acceptance, talking about the need-based education. So quality education means we have to identify our students about according to their abilities and capabilities, and we have to give them need-based education according to their caliber and the talent, because every individual is different. Some students are good in music, some students are good in sports, some students are good in science, maths. So as a teacher or as a stakeholder, it's our duty to identify the potential, to identify the caliber, and to make quality education a reality. We need to make it accessible to all, regardless of their physical, psychological, or social or or the cultural circumstances, and it must enable each school full and comprehensive development. We are talking about the overall development of child. We have to work not only in academic areas, but we have to work also in the non-academic areas, in the cognitive or the affective or psychomotor domains. We have to cover all the domains. So if children can access education of all type of this type, this will facilitate equality of opportunity and equity. And quality education also means that all those involved in the educational process, the stakeholders, the family, school, and the must play full part in it. And the teachers must play an active role, and they must be capable of transforming teaching and suiting it to the particular circumstances, because teachers are teachers are the ideals for students. In the classroom, some students are high achievers, some students are low achievers. So as a teacher, it's our duty to identify some students are tactile learners, some students are auditory learners, some students are visual learners. So we have to change our strategies time to time. So what we need is motivation, enthusiasm, creativity, innovation, and research training, and commitment is required for a teacher. So it will be the teachers who ultimately implement the actions needed to make quality education a reality. And same thing is that from the community side, parents play vital role in their life, because they know about their child, they observe their milestones, how they achieved. So right from their first day of training, of kids, teachers and parents must be given the tools and resources on the one hand to able to adapt effectively to diverse setting, because diversity is there in the classroom. And when we talk about the quality education, lots of barriers and challenges are there. So we have to we have to face all those challenges, and we have to overcome all those challenges, know how to use active and innovative approaches in the classroom, how we can use creativity in the classroom, how we can use the how we can give the opportunities to our students in the classroom. And technology play a vital role, because technology has a big influence too, and teachers cannot lose sight of this. So they need to engage in lifelong learning. So another challenge is that the lack of resources in our society. uh, Lots of for example, nowadays we are talking about the inclusive setup. So ramp must be there, or the ramp, lift, adaptive toilet, or the resource rooms or labs. Everything must be there in the school, and all multidisciplinary staff must be there. Like general teacher should be there in the school, normal teacher should be there in the school, psychologist and guidance and counselor must be there, occupational therapist, physiotherapist, music teacher, games teacher. So lack of human resources, lack of infrastructure is there. So resources are resources are required, but you also need to know how to use them, because many things are available. So we have to use those things in the effective manner. And mainly because if we don't make education more inclusive, quality education will remain out of reach, because we won't be providing quality of opportunity to each and every person of the society. Because according to RPWD Act 2016, 21 disabilities are there. So they also have equal rights, and we have to provide the equal opportunities to them as well. For example, in 1994 in Salamanca conference in Spain, they focused on the inclusive education. They talked about the women education, they talked about the orphans, they talked about the tribes in different countries. So imagine if so it means I would be creating incredible inequality. Firstly, because the people would see that they were split into different groups. So we have to make an inclusive setup. An inclusive education means that teacher must work with the whole group rather than with the individual people on their own. So I address uh, that we have to sensitize and aware the society about the legal rights of the students, about the opportunities they have. So it means we can learn something, teachers, people, families, and society. From the teacher's perspective, we can say that this learning is rewarding. And in inclusive setup, we have to remove all the barriers, attitudinal barriers. Lots of people are not accepting. Acceptance is important in the society. We have to increase the accessibility, because access is important for every student. we have to remove the discrimination in the society, because people are social creature. We need to interact with others and
Mr. Zubair, we are losing your.
establish personal relationship in order to. The other thing is that, yeah.
Mr. Zubair,
Okay, ma'am.
network is a
I'm
bit
concluding.
weak.
So as we all know, I'm concluding, ma'am, in 1 minute. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So it means we all are aware of how technology changing the face of education, not only has mode of receiving education, but we have to use technology as a tool. And the target of quality education is ensure that there is a free primary, secondary, senior secondary education for girls and boys for effective learning outcome, and ensure that both girls and boys have access to quality early development and pre-primary education, and ensure equal access to affordable and quality technical, vocational and tertiary education, and eliminate all discrimination, and ensure universal literacy and numeracy, and ensure education for sustainable development goals and global citizenship, and ensure building and upgrading inclusive and safe and we have to provide the equal opportunities in the
Mr. Zubair,
of
yeah,
you,
are
and
you
because
there?
it's a good platform and to learn from one another.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Zubair, for your wonderful thoughts. We've just lost a little bit of network.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Zubair, are you there with us?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am here.
Actually, there is little bit of some bad network from your side, but it's very much normal. We really value your time, and we really value the wonderful thoughts that you have shared amongst us. I would request you to please do this gesture so that we capture a screenshot. Please capture. We just capture a picture. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Zubair.
Welcome. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Okay. So moving ahead for this another wonderful experience which is going to happen amongst us, we have Sri Vaishnav College of Management from Indore, India amongst us. Good morning, Sri Vaishnav College of Management. Wow, what a wonderful experience. See, the co-host, I would request you to please put on the spotlight.
Very good morning, ma'am.
Very good morning. Look at the crowd. What a wonderful experience. We were talking about education, and here, finally, we have our whole team sitting down there. We have the students, we have the wonderful minds, the early growing minds today, and we are going to listen to them. What are their thoughts? What are their understandings? So I'm sure we all are going to enjoy this experience. So over to you all, Sri Vaishnav Management. You may please go ahead. Please put the spotlight on the stage.
Lisa ma'am, spotlight is already there.
I want the spotlight to be changed on the other camera. We are able to see the audience. We are not able to see the speakers.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Wait a minute.
Yes.
A very good morning to all, and thank you so much. We are privileged to be the part of this broadcast of Global Peace and Sustainable Development 2023, the Goal 4. Following our Indian tradition, I would request all the dignitaries on the dais to please enlighten the lamp.
This is the part of our Indian culture, the lighting of the diya, the lighting of the lamp before any any program or any session which is going on? Yes. So, Sri Western College of
I would
Management.
request Dr. George Thomas, Director of the Institute, to please come and encourage us with his valuable words. Sir, please.
सबसे पहले आप सभी को इंटरनेशनल ऑडियंस को मेरा नमस्ते. Greetings and a warm welcome to all the distinguished delegates of the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2023. At the very outset, I would like to thank Expressions Learning Resource Private Limited and Witty Gossip for inviting me to this international platform and providing the opportunity to share my thoughts. Desmond Tutu said, inclusive, good quality education is a foundation for dynamic and equitable societies. At the UN Sustainable Summit held in September 2015, more than 150 world leaders adopted the new 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals, which are in intergovernmentally agreed set of 17 goals and 169 targets relating to sustainable development issues. These SDGs aim to end poverty and zero hunger, improve education and health standards, gender equality, clean water, sanitation, and energy, and combat climate change within the stipulated time period. Of all the SDGs, education is the most vital component for sustainable development. As a signatory to the SDGs, India has committed to ensuring inclusive and quality education for all children by 2030. The target of SDG 4 can be summarized as quality primary secondary school education for all, early childhood development care and pre-primary education, equal access to technical, vocational and higher education, skills for decent jobs, gender equality and equal access for all, youth and adult literacy, knowledge about sustainable development and global citizenship, a safe and inclusive learning environment, scholarships for higher education, professional development of teachers. Over the past decades, India has taken several steps to achieve its goal towards universalization of education. Past education reforms, added by central and state government schemes and policies, have helped in promoting access and equity to the specified SDG 4 targets. The Indian education landscape is replete with several central and state level education schemes aimed at helping the country attain the desired education goals, such as Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, the midday meal scheme, integrated child development services, राष्ट्रीय उच्चतर शिक्षा अभियान, प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना, नेशनल स्किल डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन, उड़ान, स्टैंडर्ड ट्रेनिंग असेसमेंट एंड रिवार्ड, साक्षर भारत, national service schemes, and the centrally sponsored scheme for teacher education are some of the key national schemes helping achieving specific SDG 4 targets corresponding to early childhood, school, higher and tertiary education. They are further supported by schemes undertaken by state governments. The recently released National Education Policy Act as an overarching policy providing the overall direction in meeting various education objectives. It emphasizes on quality education, universal access to education, equitable quality education, and lifelong learning, all of which are the basic tenets of the SDG 4 agenda. In India, constitutionally, several key programs and policies have been initiated to provide free and compulsory education to all children in the age of group of 6 to 14 years as a fundamental right. The Ministry of Human Resource Development works through two departments, Department of School Education and Literacy responsible for universalizing elementary education, and Department of Higher Education engaged in establishing world-class institution of higher learning. While these schemes are helping India in its journey towards providing equitable access to quality education, there are a host of continuing challenges in terms of access, equity, quality, and efficiency. With the help of finance, innovation, technology, fit approach, India can overcome the challenges of achieving SDG 4 goals. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, had said, I dream of a digital India where quality education reaches the most inaccessible corners driven by digital learning. In India, significant progress has been made towards the achievement of SDG 4. Basic literacy skills across the country have improved tremendously. Yet, bolder schemes and efforts with regard to digital technology and financing educations are needed to achieve universal education goals. Once again, I thank you and look forward to such interaction in future also. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now I would request Dr. Sandeep Malu to please come and address with his words. So please.
A very good morning to the chief guest of the day, Director Dr. George Thomas, the Western Institute of Management in Indore, my faculty colleagues, Dr. Deepa Joshi and Dr. Jayashree Sharma, other fraternal colleagues, and my dear students. I am Dr. Sandeep Kumar Malu from Indore, MP, India. At the outset, I would like to thank Expression Learning Resources Private Limited, Witty Gossip Group for inviting me to deliver my thoughts on the international platform. It is an honor to be the part of this gathering and to have an opportunity to interact with such a diverse and knowledgeable audience. My dear friends, my today's topic is the role of technology in skill development and workforce readiness in context of Sustainable Development Goal 4, challenges and opportunities. the fourth goal of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal is focused on ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. One key aspect of this goal is the development of skills and workforce readiness, which is critical for the economic growth of any country. Skill development refers to the process of acquiring new knowledge, skills, and competencies which are essential for the personal as well as the professional growth. On the other hand, the workforce readiness refers to the ability of individuals to enter and succeed in the workforce. This includes having the necessary skills and knowledge as well as the ability to adapt to new technologies and changing job requirements. Furthermore, ensuring that individuals are prepared for the workforce of the future is essential for achieving the broader goals of sustainable development. As the global economy evolves and new technologies emerge, individuals need to be equipped with the skills and knowledge necessary to adapt and thrive in a changing labor market. Now, discussing the role of technology, we all know that the technology has an important role in supporting the skill development and workforce readiness, particularly in the context of Sustainable Development Goal 4. I am discussing the ways in which the technology can help in achieving this goal. One of the ways that technology can support the skill development is through online learning platforms. These platforms offers flexible and accessible ways to learn new skills and gain knowledge, regardless of a person's location or time constraint. To deliver the training and upskilling programs for the workforce, which will help them to acquire new skills and remain competitive in a rapidly changing job market. Another way that technology can support the skill development is through the use of digital tools and simulations. These tools allows the individual to practice and develop their skills in a safe and controlled environment, which can be particularly valuable in a high risk or complex industries such as healthcare or aviation. Technology can also be used to provide personalized learning experience that are tailored to the individual's need and learning style. This can help to improve the effectiveness of training and development programs and ensures that learners are able to achieve their full potential. In addition to the supporting skill development, technology can also be used to promote the to identify the job opportunities, develop their resumes and job applications, and connect the potential employers. There are certain challenges like quality of education, gender disparities, low employability skills, inadequate investment in education, etc. At the same time, in the country like India, we have the opportunities of digitalization, skill development programs, to conclude, we can say that it is essential to invest in building the digital infrastructure, providing access to affordable internet, developing the relevant curricula and training programs, bridging the skills gap required in enhancing the quality of education and training programs to meet the current and future demands of the job market. Furthermore, developing the training programs which are tailored to the needs of the rural population is crucial to ensure the inclusive and equitable access to the education and training. In specific countries like India, a vast talent pool provides an opportunity for the country to become a global leader in the technology and the IT sectors. Government initiatives like Skill India Mission and private sector investments can significantly contribute to developing the skills of the workforce and bridging the skill gap. Once again, I would like to thank for your presence, your attention, and your engagement. I look forward to continuing this conversation with you and to exploring the new ideas and perspective together. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your work.
I think there must be some technical errors, but the team is fixing it up. Technical team, do you need any assistance? Yes, they are fixed. They are fixed it.
नमस्कार, मैं डॉक्टर दीपा जोशी आप सबका स्वागत करती हूँ भारत के सबसे स्वच्छ शहर इंदौर से. I welcome you all from the city of cleanest city of India, that is Indore. I'm Dr. Deepa Joshi and I'm going to give the presentation on SDG 4 targets to create action to ensure quality education. We all know just planning is not enough. We have to set targets to get it executed. The objective to set target is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Education liberates the intellect, unlocks the imagination, and is fundamental for self-respect. It is the key to prosperity and opens a world of opportunities, making it possible for each of us to contribute to a progressive, healthy society. Learning benefits every human being and should be available to all. Everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. Use the 10 targets to create action to ensure quality education. And I'm also happy to share that for my presentation, our students are going to further proceed for the explanation of targets. So my presentation will be extended by the presentation of students for the explanation of target. Now let us come to the point. What are the 10 targets of SDG 4 to create action to ensure quality education? Target 1, pre-primary and secondary education. By 2030, it is very essential to ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. Now, look at the point. There is no gender biasness. We are giving equal opportunities to boys and girls. Then, target 2, equal access to quality pre-primary education. By 2030, we need to ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education so that they are ready for primary education. Another important aspect that we need to give to childhood. Now, target 3, equal access to affordable, technical, vocational, and higher education. By 2030, we need to ensure equal access for all women and men. Now again, we are giving access to adult, women and men, to affordable and quality technical, vocational, and tertiary education, including university. Target 4, we are going to increase the number of people with relevant skills for financial success. By 2030, substantially, we have to increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship. Target 5, we need to eliminate all discrimination in education. By 2030, we have to keep it in mind that we have to eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, indigenous people, and children in vulnerable situations. Now, we need to understand by target 5, we are covering a larger scope of society. Target 6, universal literacy and numeracy. We are all living in the global village. We need to understand the universal needs. By 2030, ensure that all youth and a substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. For target 7, we have to understand the need of education for sustainable development and global citizenship. By 2030, we need to ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, promotion of culture of peace and non-violence, global citizenship, and appreciation of cultural diversity and of cultures' contribution to sustainable development. Now, looking to target 7, we'll understand we wish to develop through peace, through non-violence. It is not just the education we are giving, we are also giving values to the citizens with the understanding that we have to move for sustainable development. Target 8 deals with build and upgrade inclusive and safe schools, build and upgrade education facilities that are child, disability, and gender sensitive and provide safe, non-violent, inclusive, and effective learning environments for all. Target 9, we expand higher education scholarships for developing countries. By 2030, substantially expand globally the number of scholarships available to developing countries, in particular, least developed countries, small island, developing states, and African countries for enrollment in higher education, including vocational training and information and communications technology. technical engineering, and scientific programs. In developed countries and for target 10, we have to increase the supply of qualified teachers in developing countries. The backbone of any society is how you treat your teachers. If teachers are qualified enough to give value education and everything that is related to your targets, then only we can achieve. So by 2030, substantially increase the supply of qualified teachers, including through international cooperation for teacher training in developing countries, especially least developed countries and small island developing states. So when we discuss, again, we are talking about what we have to do. It is not about what an individual or a particular nation has to do. So when we talk about we all have to come together to understand the need of getting sustainable development through SDG 4. So I would like to conclude with the words, the Sustainable Development Goal works towards a world of peace and prosperity, eradicating major issues such as poverty and hunger, all while protecting the planet. In the midst of climate crisis, this has never been more important. The 5 pillars, also known as 5 Ps of sustainable development, encompass 5 overarching areas that each of the SDGs address. They are people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnerships. Sustainability is sitting in the core of each. These pillars are there to inform decision making around interventions installed by the government that work towards the SDGs. So together we can. We all have to come together to make the difference. Let us all come together and join hands to achieve the targeted goals. Now, again, on the outset, I would like to thank everyone sitting here who has given the special time, listened to me with all patience, and my special thanks to Expressions Learning Resources Private Limited and Witty Gossip for inviting me to deliver my thoughts on international platform. It has been an honor to be a part of this gathering and to have the opportunity to engage with such diverse and knowledgeable audience. Once again, thank you for your presence, your attention, and your engagement. I look forward to continuing this conversation with you and to exploring new ideas and perspectives together. Thank you all once again. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your enlightening words. Now I would invite Dr. Jayshree Sharma to share her thoughts. Ma'am, please.
A warm welcome to one and all present here. I also welcome to the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2023. I, Dr. Jayshree Sharma from Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, welcome you all once again. I'm very much thankful to the Expression Learning Resource Private Limited, the Witty Gossip Group, our Director, Dr. George Thomas, my colleagues, Dr. Sandeep Malu, Dr. Deepa Joshi ma'am, other colleagues over here, and all my children. Welcome to all, and I am very much thankful for inviting me to deliver my thought on international platforms, It's one of my honor to be a part of this gathering and to have an opportunity to engage in such a diverse and knowledgeable audience. Now I would just give a brief introduction on the quality education. It is mainly a study on the SDG 4. As we all know, the Sustainable Development Goals are in number 17. The UNESCO has put up 17 goals, and the fourth goal is the quality education. You can see on the screen there are almost 17 goals. The fourth goal which we are emphasizing on it is the quality education. The Sustainable Development Goal is about quality education and is among the 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in September 2015. The full title of SDG 4 is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. SDG 4 has 10 targets which are measured by 11 indicators. The three are the means of achieving targets, build and upgrade inclusive and safe schools, expand higher education scholarships for developing countries, and to increase the supply of qualified teachers in developing countries. SDG 4 aims to provide children and young people with quality and easily accessible education plus other learning opportunities. There are 10 targets which SDG 4 has. It is composed of 7 outcome targets and 7 means of implementation. That is how we are implementing the targets. The SDG 4's 10 targets constitute the backbone. The outcome targets are first, the universal primary and secondary education. By 2030, we ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable and quality primary and secondary education, leading to the relevant and effective learning outcomes. The second target is to the early childhood development and the universal pre-primary education. By 2030, we ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care and pre-primary education so that they are ready for the primary education. Third is equal success to technical and vocational and higher educational pre-primary education. By 2030, we ensure equal access for all women and men to afford quality technical, vocational and tertiary education, including all universities. The fourth is relevant skills for decent work. By 2030, substantially increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills for employment and decent jobs. The fifth is gender equality and inclusion. By 2030, we should eliminate the gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, indigenous peoples, and children in vulnerable situations. The sixth one is a universal youth literacy. By 2030, we ensure that all youth and a substantial proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. The last is the education for sustainable development and global citizenship. By 2030, we ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, promotion of culture of peace and non-violence, global citizenship, and appreciation of culture diversity and of culture's contribution to sustainable development. What are the three means of implementation which we had said before? The first one is the effective learning environments to build and upgrade education facilities that all child, disability and gender sensitive and provide safe, non-violent, inclusive and effective learning environments for all. The second means of implementation is to give scholarships. By 2020, substantially, we expand globally the number of scholarships available to developing countries. In particular, the least developed countries, the small islands, developing states, and the African countries for enrollment in higher education, including vocational training and information and communication technology, technical, engineering, and scientific programs in developed countries and in the developing countries. Third is teachers and educators. By 2030, substantially we will increase the number of qualified teachers, including for schools as well as for the universities, which is a third means of implementation. There are some targets, that is which again links to the SDGs. That is, we have to gain these targets by 2030, which according to our Prime Minister, Dr. Narendra Modi. The first one is that is no poverty. The second is health and the well-being, gender equality. Fourth is a decent work and economic growth. Then responsible consumption and production, climate change mitigation, peace, justice, and strong institutions. The current challenges of the Indian education in order to ensure quality education for its students, there are certain challenges. Again, the challenges are first, the funds for education. Second, the pupil-teacher ratio, that is the PTR, trained and professional teachers, health and safe environment, curriculum development, monitoring and evaluation, pre-basic education, use of information and communication technology, and motivation. In India, the new education policy and sustainable development 4 aims at providing universal quality education and lifelong learning. How India can achieve this? India is already playing an essential role in achieving the targets. Various initiatives and projects are already in place to provide quality education. Let us see some what are the projects which are again under this government. That is Padhe Bharat, Bade Bharat, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan, the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, the lifelong learning, critical thinking, gender disparity, digital technology, financing education, Udan, Pragati, Swayam programs, National E-Library, Saksham, Ishan Uday, Ishan Vikas, and Swami Vivekananda Single Girl Child Scholarship for Research in Social Studies, Sciences. These are some of the very good scholarships which are undergoing by our present government. In India, the significant process has but the least in India, a significant process has been made towards the achievement of SDG 4. Basic literacy skills across the country have improved tremendously. Yet bolder schemes and efforts with regards to digital technology and financing education are needed to achieve universal education goals. These are some of the references which I have taken. Thank you. And again, one small thank you, Bhuma, for giving me this chance to stand and give this lecture for you all. Thank you.
एक छोटा सा अनाउंसमेंट है आप लोगों के लिए। जितने प्रेजेंटेशंस आप देख रहे हैं इसके बेस्ड एक गूगल फॉर्म आप लोगों से शेयर किया जाएगा, जिसमें कुछ मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस होंगे जिस पे आपको जवाब देने हैं, और जो बच्चे मैक्सिमम जवाब देंगे उन लोगों को उसका ई सर्टिफिकेट अवार्ड किया जाएगा। तो अगेन इट इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर ऑल टू गेट अ सर्टिफिकेट एंड टू एनहांस योर नॉलेज। थैंक यू। जिनके मैक्सिमम सही जवाब होंगे उन सारे बच्चों को ई सर्टिफिकेट।
Thank you. Now it's time to learn it out from our students. So I would invite Mr. Boris Chule.
Greetings and a warm welcome to the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Growth Summit 2023. I am Gaurav Sudhir from Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management in Gurgaon, Madhya Pradesh. In accordance with the goal 4 of sustainable development, quality education, I would like to discuss about an analysis of early childhood development and universal pre-primary education system. Child development refers to the sequence of physical, cognitive, and social changes that occurs from the birth to the beginning of the adulthood. Physical changes include height, weight changes. Cognitive changes include language, problem-solving ability, and social changes include the emotional parameters. In the first few years of life, more than 1 million neural connections are formed each second. Children who are from age group 3 years to 5 years, must pursue pre-primary education, often known as universal pre-primary education, which promotes high-quality education. This is the brain architecture of the early stages of life. As you can see, 25% of the brain created at the time of birth, 70% followed till 1 year, 85% from 1 year to 3 years, and 92% from 3 years to 5 years. Going further, these are the implications of early childhood development. Lifelong learning. Children's early learning sets the foundation for lifelong learning. Health and well-being. Providing proper nutritious food may benefit children for their health and well-being. Economic productivity. Those children who pursue high quality education may get proper job opportunities, good job opportunities, and get high job salaries. Social equity. Early childhood development promotes social equity by providing equal access to all the children, even in remote and rural areas. Reduce social cost. Early childhood development. In investing early childhood development, it resolves the problem of duplication and adequate resources associated with the problem of poor health and education attainment. Moving further, we have significant impact of early childhood development. Cognitive development. This includes the numerical problem solving ability, language barriers, etc. Social emotional development. These are the social parameters. How our children react in basic and different environments. Health and nutrition. Providing proper sanitation facility, a safe environment to the needy children may benefit their age group for their growth and education prospects. Education attainment. Providing children can early childhood development can play a major role in providing the quality education to the targeted children to succeed in academics. Economic productivity and lifestyle. ETC can help to provide children a set of standards of lifestyle so they can build their lifestyle, and this is very important for their future growth. Moving further, we have challenges in early childhood development and universal pre-primary education. Lack of funding. Proper funding is required and adequate funding is required for early childhood development. Many governments and communities fail to provide continuous funding to them. Inadequate access to education. It has been seen in remote and rural areas where proper education facility is not available for them. So this is the major challenge in that. Providing high quality education. Setting a proper standard of education everywhere, each where, it is very important because every child has a right to be learned equally with others, even if he belong to backward class or a high class. Supporting parental involvement. This is very necessary for the early child to get a support from their parents, as parents are the foundation to build their child's thinking ability and the thought process of thinking. Coordinating EDC programs between different sectoral levels of government. It is very important to coordinate all the ECD programs during the policies because to solve the problem of duplication and adequate resources and efficiency of resources. Moving further, we have suggestions for early childhood development and universal pre-primary education system. Invest in early childhood education. Investing in early childhood education helps your children to gain a prospective learning. Focus on play-based learning. It has been found that children from age group 3 to 5 found more attracted to the play-based learning. So it is the right of those children to, it is very important for teachers also to prepare that case. Develop a comprehensive curriculum. To develop a comprehensive curriculum means to develop a schedule. It is very important nowadays to plan a schedule according to the latest trend to the children. Train and support teachers. Teachers and trainers are required to be properly shaped and qualified to understand the children's psychology, what they actually want, why are not they performing. ensure access for all children. Even the children belong to backward classes. They belong to the area which is backward, rural areas, remote areas. It is necessary to provide them access to quality education, which will help their future prospects. Monitor and evaluate program. It is very important to evaluate each and every program of the government, continuing trends, because it is very important to be in the dynamic environment. In the end, I would like to conclude that early childhood development and universal primary education system are crucial for the development of children and society as a whole. Investing in quality pre-primary education, governments and policymakers can ensure that children have a strong foundation for lifelong learning and development. Play-based learning, a comprehensive curriculum, well-trained teachers collaborative with parents and caregivers, and fostering a positive learning environment are all essential components of successful pre-primary education system. We must continue to work together to improve pre-primary education and early childhood development outcomes to ensure that all children have the opportunity to reach their full potential. Thank you. Now, I would like to thank Expression Learning Resources Private Limited and Witty Gossip for inviting me to deliver my thought to the international platform. It has been an honor to be the part of this gathering and to have the opportunity to engage with such a diverse and knowledgeable audience. I also like to extend my warm regards to the chief guest of the summit, Dr. George Thomas, sir, Director of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, and to the convener of the program, Dr. Sandeep Malu, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ganesh. Now I would call Ms. Pooja Tetradia, student of BB MBA 4th semester.
A very beautiful morning to all and warm welcome to the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2023. I am Pooja Theptia from Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. I am honored to be here to speak on the topic Sustainable Development Goal 4, Quality Education, Target 4.3, Equal Access to Technical Education and Vocational and Higher Education. Now, I would like to introduce the Goal 4. Goal 4 ensures that all girls and boys complete free primary and secondary education. It also aims to provide equal access to affordable vocational training and to eliminate gender and wealth disparities with the aim of achieving universal access to quality higher education. Now, what is technical and vocational education training? It refers to all forms and levels of education and training which provide knowledge and skill related to occupation in various sectors of economies and social life. It is generally done through formal, non-formal, and informal learning methods in both school-based and work-based learning contexts. TVET focuses on the learning and mastery of specialized techniques and scientific principles underlying those techniques, as well as general knowledge, skills, and values. What is the purpose of TVET? Preparing youth for work, that is providing training on work-related skills to the newcomers, encouraging self-employment and entrepreneurship, continuing professional development, that is providing employees with timely training regard to work. Personal development and emancipation, that is value-based learning, increasing productivity of workers, socio-economic development. Now, what is higher education? It is education which provides knowledge-based and technology-driven modern economies worldwide. It involves specialized and advanced coursework and often requires the completion of a degree or a certificate program. Higher education is pursued by individuals seeking to increase their knowledge and skills in a particular field or to improve their career opportunities and earning potentials. It's been a challenge in rural areas to provide quality higher education due to lack of infrastructure and reach. But nowadays, government has provided certain ways to provide TVET and higher education. These ways are satellite learning, where students can visualize the technique, teaching, and methods through video programs. Distance learning or online learning. Scholarships by government and private institutions. Innovative education model by games, collaborative partnerships between governments and public and private institutions, encouraging entrepreneurships through small and medium scale industries, apprenticeship or training or simulation training, and massive open online courses. There are various ways and initiatives government has taken to promote education in India, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Pade Bharat Bade Bharat Abhiyan, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Abhiyan, and Swayam. Now, I would like to conclude that providing equal access to technical, vocational, and higher education is crucial for creating more equitable and prosperous society. Best practices for promoting equal access include removing financial barriers, creating supportive learning environments, ensuring access to technology and resources, offering mentorship and guidance, and partnering with employers to create pathways to employment. By prioritizing equal access to education and training, we can help individuals to reach their full potential, contribute to the workforce, and drive economic growth and development. Now, I would like to thank Expressions Learning Resource Private Limited, Witty Gossip Group, Chief Guest of the Day, Director Dr. George Thomas, and convener of the program, Dr. Sandeep Malusar, for inviting me to deliver my thought on the international platform. It has been an honor to be part of this gathering and to have opportunity to engage with such a diverse, knowledgeable audience. Once again, thank you for your presence, your attention, and your engagement. I look forward to continue this conversation with you to explore new ideas and perspectives together. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Pooja. Now I would invite Mr. Manas Pandey, student of BBA final year.
Greetings and a warm welcome to the Global Peace and the Sustainable Development Summit 2023. I am Manas Pandey from National Institute of Management from Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. I am here to put some light on the Sustainable Development Goal for Quality Education Target 4.4 Relevant Skill for Decent Work. So first, we have a look what is actually quality education is all about. To understand the world around us, basic access to the basic education is very necessary. Through quality education, people learn to listen critical reflect about reality, and to have a healthy and sustainable life. And with the quality education focuses on the social, emotional, mental, physical, and cognitive development of each student, regardless of their gender, race, socioeconomic status, and the geographic location. This goals also focuses on school facilities, increase the number of training vocational opportunities, and increase the number of trained faculties available to provide a safe learning environment. Now let us see how it is related to the sustainable development. Education is very essential to achieve many sustainable development goals. Quality education allows people to break the cycle of poverty. It helps to reduce inequalities, reaches gender equality. It enables people to lead a healthier and more sustainable life. And the integration of SDGs into vocational education helps people to develop knowledge, skills, values, and behavior needed to address 21st centuries and 22nd centuries challenges. Moving forward to the target we have to achieve, which is relevant skill for decent work. It focuses on sustainable development, increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurship by two major aspects, which is access and skill acquisition. Equitable access to technical and vocational education training needs to be expanded while quality is ensured. Learning opportunities should be increased and diversified using the wide range of education and training modalities. Skill acquisition beyond the work-specific skills, emphasis must be placed on developing high-level cognitive and non-cognitive skills such as team building, critical thinking, or communication skills, and conflict resolution. This target has an indicator which is proportion of youth having information and communication technology skills by type of skills. This helps to see how many targets and how much the target is going to achieve. So there are some challenges and there are some negatives of this challenge to achieve this target, which is having a limited access to education. Like many people around the world, particularly in developing countries, do not have basic access to education, let alone technical and vocational education. Second one is insufficient funding. Education and vocational training require a very significant amount of resources, including infrastructures, materials, and qualified trainers and teachers. Many countries, especially with those limited financial resources, struggle to allocate sufficient funding to education and training programs. Mismatch between skills and job market needs. There may be a mismatch between the skills we have learning and the actual skills which needed into the job market. Discrimination and marginalization. Certain groups such as women, refugees, and people with disabilities may face discrimination and migration in assessing their education and training programs. Lack of awareness and information. Many people will not be aware of the education policies and training programs. They will lack of information to access these programs. In conclusion, I would like to say that Goal 4 and Target 4.4 is very crucial goal in ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning to all. However, there are several challenges to address to achieve this goal. To overcome these challenges, it is essential to invest in education and training programs that are relevant to the needs of the job market, promote equal opportunities to all. By providing individuals with relevant skills and knowledge, we can not only help them to secure decent job and entrepreneurship, but we are also going to contribute overall economic growth of their countries and their communities. At last, uh, I would like to thank Expression Learning Resources Private Limited, Witty Gossip Group, and the chief guest of the day, Honorable Director George Thomas sir, and the convener of the program, Dr. Sandeep Malu sir, for inviting me to deliver this thoughts on the international platform. It has been honored to be the part of this gathering. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manas. Now I would invite Ms. Khushi Pandey, student of final year in BBA.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I am Khushi Pandey from Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. Welcomes you all in the Global Summit 2023. Let's start with the goal for sustainable development. Sustainable development is very important for our society, and goal 4 also focuses on quality education. One of its important pillars is gender equality and inclusion. Gender equality does not mean the equal ratio of male and female, but it ensures the growth, opportunity, and equality in the terms of work and education. The practice of making sure that everyone in society has equal access to resources and opportunities, especially in the field of education. Sustainable Development Goal 4 targets in promotion of lifelong learning opportunities for all. It also ensures inclusive and equitable learning for all. It eliminates the gender disparities in education. Agenda of the goal is to achieve that by the year 2030, elimination of gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education, including vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities and indigenous people and children in the vulnerable situations. Challenges are everywhere. Without challenges, there is no meaning of success. Let's look towards the challenges. The first challenge is large gender gap. Large gender gap here represent the gender disparities in the term of workplace and opportunities given to the both genders. Second, over millions of students never set their foot in the schools. Third, investment of child labor and post-labor work practices in which mostly boys are trapped in very young age, which impact their education. Fourth, very less number of women are involved in the field of engineering and technologies. These are some challenges which we have to overcome through our goals and targets. The strategies to overcome these challenges are: first, to overcome this challenge, ensure healthy learning environments for both equal genders. Second, to ensure healthy learning facilities, equal learning teaching abilities, and better content to improve learning process. Third, implementation of national policy to diminish gender-based violence. Fourth, formation and maintenance of safe, inclusive, and healthy learning environment. The objectives of this strategy is to first strengthen education system to be gender transformative and promote gender equality. Second, empower girls and women through education for a better life and better future. The outcomes. The first outcome is improvement in the education system in all levels. Second, abolishment of gender stereotypes. Third, non-discriminatory policies and legislative rules. Fourth, participation of women in science, technology, mathematics, and other fields.
When girls and boys can fulfill their potential in school, they can contribute more to the economic growth and well-being of their societies later on.
Last, I would like to say when both males and females work together, it will lead towards the growth and development of society and nation. I would like to thank Expression Learning Resources Private Limited, Witty Gossip Group, and Director Josh Thomas sir, and the convener of the program, Mr. Sandeep Malu sir, for inviting me to deliver my thoughts on the international platform. It's been an honor to be the part of this event. Thank you so much, and thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Khushi. Now it's turn for Apurva Paliwal to share her thoughts.
Apurva? Greetings and a warm welcome to all. The Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2023. I am Apurva Paliwal from Shri Vaishnav Institute of Management, Indore, MP, India. Now, I would like to start my topic, which is universal youth literacy, a topic that I'm deeply passionate about. Universal youth literacy is not only a fundamental human right, but also a catalyst for social, economic, and political progress. This is an important goal because literacy is a fundamental skill that enables individuals to access informative communication effectively and to participate fully. Universal youth literacy refers to the goal of ensuring that all the young people, regardless of their background or circumstances, are able to read and write and understand the basic information which is provided by a certain age or a grade level. This literacy is important because it gives us access to knowledge for informed decision. It provides skills for the workforce, entrepreneurship, and innovation. Also, it enables to grow, think, and understand health information for better health outcomes. Now let's move forward to the benefits of literacy. Benefits include enhances personal growth, communication, and critical thinking. It also promotes social and cultural awareness and also empathy. It reduces poverty by making everyone knowledgeable and also fosters economic growth. It increases job opportunities and earning potentials. It improves health outcomes and healthcare access. It promotes social inclusion and reduces marginalization. Now, as you can see in the picture provided, the global literacy rates are shown here. As you can see in the blue area, that 90% of people are literate in most of the countries, but there are so many people who are still illiterate, as you can see in the different colors, red, orange, yellow. So these are the people who are still illiterate, that makes up to the 60% of population. Global adult literacy rate was 86.3% in 2020, with significant regional disparities. Low literacy rates limits access to education, employment, and information, which in turn leads to poverty and social exclusion. It perpetuates cycles of poverty and inequality, which in turn hinders economic growth and reduces innovation. Addressing low literacy rates is very important in order to promote economic growth, to reduce poverty, and to avoid the social exclusion, which enables access to education and employment opportunities. Now again, there are some statistics and data which is shown in the pictures. The first picture talks about the countries which have seen the biggest increase in the youth literacy, which are Morocco, Mali, and so many other countries are mentioned over here. In the second graph, you can see the progress which is made in the global literacy rates, which is significantly increasing, which is a better thing. In the third picture, you can see the graph of men versus women in the literacy rates, which is also significantly increasing. And as you can see, there is still diversities in the ratio of male and female, but in turn is increasing, which is a good thing. Now, let us shift our gears to barriers to universal youth literacy, which are poverty. Poverty is the major barrier in order to make the youth literate and to educate them. Poverty leads to less resources, which in turn leads to illiteracy. Gender inequality, which is based on the differences between male and female. Lack of funding by the financial institutions, which in turn leads to low literacy rates among the youth. political instability, which is the political differences, beliefs, and practices, which in turn is a big barrier to universal youth literacy. Social and cultural attitudes. There are still many differences seen in the terms of racism, casteism, and several other perspectives on which we differentiate with people. Language barriers, it is a major issue that the differences in the linguistic groups causes illiteracy. Lack of access to technology is still here, as we can see in our country and also in many other countries, there are still too much to do in the terms of technology. But in India, we are seeing a significant increase in the use of technology in order to educate the youth of India. Migration and displacement, the local relocation of people from one place to another is a major issue which causes trouble in the universal youth literacy rates. Teacher shortage. Now we can see that there is a very less ratio of educated teachers who can in turn make better students come out and which in turn leads to a better youth development and literacy in the minds of people. Now let us look at some of the successful literacy programs which are run all over the globe. They are Room to Read, Pratham, Pulse, Reading Partners, National Reading Panel. Now some key components of effective literacy program includes early intervention. Early intervention is in literacy development is very crucial for success. Skilled teachers with literacy expertise are to be required. Customized instruction accelerates progress and promotes love for learning. Evidence-based practices, which improves literacy outcomes. Family involvement supports language development and reading. Access to books broadens horizon and accesses, and in turn, it leads to more pleasure in reading. Continuous assessment allows for timely interventions and target completion. Best practices in order to promote universal youth literacy are as follows. Develop age-appropriate literacy programs, which is in turn very important for our nation. Encourage regular reading and writing activities through which people can participate, learn, and have a developed feeling of learning. Foster a culture of reading and learning. Provides access to reading materials. Support teachers and educators. Partner with families and communities. Use of technology and digital resources is in turn a very good practice in order to promote universal youth literacy. Incorporate local language and culture, regular assessment of and evaluation of literacy programs just to ensure that the literacy programs which are running are in turn benefiting. At last, I would like to conclude that promoting universal youth literacy is very important to create a fairer and an equitable society. Best practices include age-appropriating programs which promotes culture of learning, ensuring access to reading materials, which provides regular evaluation. By prioritizing literacy education, we can empower youth and become active and engaged citizens who can make a positive impact on the communities and on the overall world. At last, I would like to thank my director, Dr. George Thomas, sir, and the convener of this program, Dr. Sandeep Malu, sir. Also, I would like to extend my thanks to Expressions Learning Resources Private Limited and Witty Gossip Group to give me an opportunity to present on this international platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Apurva. And now it's time to hear from Yash Jain, student of BBA final year. This is the last presentation. So please be patient.
Heartfelt namaste and warm welcome to all the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2023. I am Yash Jain from Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. So today, I am here to share my thoughts on Sustainable Development Goal 4, Target 7, Education for Sustainable Development and Global Citizenship. The Sustainable Development Goals are a set of 17 goals adopted by the United Nations to promote sustainable development and address social, economic, and environmental challenges facing the world today. Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education, is essential to achieving sustainable development as it provides individuals with the knowledge, skills, and values they need to contribute to a sustainable future. So now, here's an introduction of the topic. Education for sustainable development is a holistic approach, education that aims to develop knowledge, skills, and values that enables individuals to contribute to sustainable development. Global citizenship education is an approach to education that aims to develop knowledge, skills, and values that enables individuals to understand global issues and take action to address them. Now, let's talk some facts and figures. The United Nations estimates that by 2030, around 825 million children, young people, and adults will need to acquire the basic literacy skills. The United Nations has estimated that by 2050, the world's population will reach 9.7 billion people, which will put increased pressure on the planet's resources. Education for sustainable development can help prepare future generations to address these challenges. The World Economic Forum has identified global citizenship education as one of the key skills needed for the 21st century workforce. Global citizenship education can help individuals develop a global perspective and the ability to work effectively and across cultural and linguistic boundaries. So now, why education for sustainable development and global citizenship is important? Here's why. First, it promotes environmental awareness. It prepares learners for future challenges. It fosters responsible citizenship, encourages sustainable practices. It promotes social justice, and it fosters innovation. Now, why global citizenship education is important? It encourages cultural understanding, promotes social responsibility, fosters civic engagement, promotes environmental stewardship, prepares learners for global challenges, fosters critical thinking. So what are the challenges and opportunities for education for sustainable development and global citizenship? Here are some challenges which we have to face while achieving the goal. First is lack of political will, resistance to change, lack of evaluation, inequality, cultural and language barriers, lack of integration, limited resources, and limited awareness. So these are the opportunities: globalization, sustainable development goals, technological advances, collaborative partnerships, curriculum innovation, lifelong learning, and youth engagement. So what could be the practices in promoting education for sustainable development and global citizenship? Here are some practices which can be used: experiential learning, interdisciplinary teaching, project-based learning, student-led initiatives, technology-enabled learning, sustainable facilities and operations, teacher training, and professional development. Now, in the end, I would like to culminate by saying education for sustainable development and global citizenship education are crucial in promoting SDG Goal 4, quality education, by integrating sustainability and global citizenship concepts into the curriculum and creating experiential learning opportunities. Educators can create a learning environment that fosters critical thinking, problem solving, and social responsibility. Incorporating best practices such as project-based learning, student-led initiatives, community engagement can further enhance students' understanding of sustainability and global citizenship. As we work towards a sustainable and just future, it is vital to recognize the role that education plays in shaping responsible and engaged global citizens. At last, I would like to thank Expressions Learning Resources Private Limited, Witty Gossip Group, and our chief guest of the day, Dr. Director Dr. George Thomas sir, and convener of the program, Dr. Sandeep Malu sir, for inviting me to deliver my thoughts on the international platform. Thank you for your attention and your engagement. I look forward to continuing this conversation with you and explore new ideas and perspectives together. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you all. Thank you, Witty Gossip Association and Expression Learning Resources Private Limited. This was Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, and now over to you.
Thank you very much, Sri Vaishnav Management. My special gratitude to Mr. Josh, Mr. Malu, and Ms. Kali, and all the students of Sri Vaishnav Management Institute for your fantastic and spellbound performance today. I would request Estara ma'am to please share your experience with the college.
Thank you, Lisa. Dear esteemed professional dignitaries, Dr. Deepa Joshi, Dr. Jayashree Sharma, Dr. Sandeep Kumar Malu, chief guests, educators, principals, speakers, and participants of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management. I, Estera, conference mentor on behalf of Witty Gossips and Expressions Learning Resources India, wish to express our sincere and heartfelt thanks and gratitude for your presence and for sharing your expertise and insights on SDG 4, quality education, with us today. Your priceless contribution has been phenomenal in developing our understanding of this topic and its target discussed, leaving a long-lasting impact on all of us. Your willingness to take out time from your busy schedule to impart your precious knowledge and experiences to us is a testament to your respective fields. Your enthusiasm and passion is contagious, and we all have benefited and inspired by your insightful sharing today. We greatly appreciate the effort you put in to preparing your presentation and the way you delivered them with clarity and precision. Your presentation has been engaging, informative, and thought-provoking, and we are grateful for the opportunity to learn from you. Once again, I thank you for being here with us today and for sharing your expertise with us. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors and hope to have opportunity to learn from you all again in future. Thank you. Back to you, Lisa.
Thank you very much, Madam Estara.
Lisa ma'am, actually we have a very special guest from the land of the Zimbabwe. So Patrika has joined us. Patricia Gonde, Zimbabwe. Dear, if possible, please switch on your camera. Ms. Gonde? Yes, please switch on your camera. Yes, I would like to request technical team. Yes, you are co-host now. So, dear, yes, thank you very much, ma'am. Ma'am, please switch on your mic, ma'am, and please say few words.
Patrika, we would love if you could share your experience with the team.
All right, thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be sharing with you about the SDG goal number 4. As you already know that in terms of quality education here in Zimbabwe, we have gone quite a long way because of, I think the government has invested quite a lot in terms of quality education. I've seen that we have also have donor organizations like UNICEF that are also donating equipment and resources to different parts of the schools in Zimbabwe. But we still have those schools that are really at the back of beyond that still need a lot of investment. And us as educationists, what are we doing in terms of providing resources to those children who are in marginalized backgrounds? We still have a long way to go. I would like to thank the different organizations that are assisting us in quite a lot. We also have a problem, especially with the gender digital divide, that we also need to look at, especially with our girls, as this year's theme was on gender digital divide. So we need to also to look at things that we can do, activities or what we can do to help our children who are still lagging behind, especially the girls. As you know that when you educate a girl, you educate a nation. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you today.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much for joining us. Lisa, actually, she is not able to the joining hands because she is from she has joined from the phone.
Yeah, it's okay.
Miss Gonde, could you please switch on your camera once again? Miss Gonde? Yes. I think there is a problem of network issue already. Okay.
I would even like Christiana to please share her experience. This is the second day that she has experienced the hybrid mode performance of the students from Sri Vaishnav College. I, I'm sure they would love to hear from you. Yes, kindly unmute your mic. Kindly unmute Christiana's mic. Technical team, kindly unmute Christiana's mic.
Yes, ma'am.
You want me to share something?
Yes, dear. As you actually you in a chat box you want to say something about the quality education. So, dear, please go ahead.
Okay, I will share my presentation, but not in a long, because it's connecting education 4.0 for industry 4.0. And if you want disabled, okay, if I can, it's no problem. There is six view of moments of education 4.0 to prepare students and workers for market industry 4.0. And in industry 4.0, we have flexible production line. We must make the tailor-made learning path at education. In industry, we have online quality control. We have in education, and we must every second, every minute, every hour to send to our students formative assessment. In industry, we have worker monitor automation, and in education, the teacher must become the mentors. Not just teach how the first speaker says how to use that knowledge, and that is the mentors. How to use that knowledge we give them as the teacher. And in industry, we have custom products, and that is the user experience, what they need, not what we think they need. And in education, we must prepare our education and our micro qualification in divergency and pluralism. And in industry, we have system engineering to collect all the data and produce something new in very fast moment. And in education, we must prepare our participant of education. That small step of education is the goal, that their goal for as a value, if you understand me, not just collecting the badges and the participant paper or something like this, but that is the new skills, new knowledge, new competence, and that is the goal, because we have long life learning, and our environment and our technologies is changing, and education is the goal all the time. And of this, in the meaning of long life learning in industry, the teachers must always, every day, every week, every month, continuous teachers training improve, because we must be in the parallel of the develop our skills as the participant, as our student. We must develop our skills. We see that we must made all last 3 years as the digital teacher, online teacher, and prepare online education as a flipped classroom, as massive online training, etc. And because of that, the six steps is mirroring industry request. We must mirror in the education. I will repeat, flexible production line is tailor-made learning path. Online quality control is formative assessment. Workers monitor automations, this teacher becomes the mentors. Custom products, we must divergence and pluralism. System engineer, we must make the education's goal. Long life learning is continuous teachers trainings. And that is my point, and amazing speakers today are, and I'm very happy, very proud to be with you all, and amazing conference they made in Sri Vishnav Institute. Thank you to share this amazing opportunity.
Hanji. Thank you very much, Christiana, for your actually for your intellectual thoughts. Now we have Dr. Pratik. Actually, Dr. Pratik is waiting for 1.5 hour. Actually, Dr. Pratik, just hold on. I am giving you a spotlight. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Dr. Pratik, actually, first of all, please introduce yourself, because today's moderator Lisa Sharma have some issues. So please introduce yourself, and sir,
Okay.
please go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, one and all present here. I, Professor Dr. Pratik Rajan Manvekar, a scientist, distinguished professor, vice chancellor for 4 universities, and a newly appointed pro-chancellor for the University of Expertise. I'm a scientist, professor, counselor, global educator, published author, and international speaker. So let us begin with my today's talk, which is on quality education, sustainability to quality education. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the importance of quality education. So, as you all know, education is a fundamental right of every individual, but it is not just about getting a degree or a diploma. It's about acquiring knowledge, developing critical thinking skills, and understanding the world we live in. So, education empowers us to make informed decisions, improves our employability, and help us lead better lives. However, the sad truth is that millions of children around the world do not have access to quality education. According to UNESCO, there are over 260 million children who are out of school, and many of those who are in school do not receive a quality education. So this is a crisis that we cannot ignore. We need to ensure that every child has access to quality education, regardless of their socioeconomic status, race, gender, or location. So this requires a collective effort from governments, educators, and society as a whole. So we need to invest in education, provide adequate resources, and support educators to provide quality educations to all children. So quality education should be inclusive, relevant, and equitable. It should prepare students for the challenges of the future, not just for passing exams. It should encourage creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, and problem solving skills. It should empower students to become responsible and active members of their communities. So we must also recognize the importance of lifelong learning. We all are lifelong learners. Education does not stop after we leave school or college or university. In a rapidly changing world, we need to continue learning throughout our lives, throughout our lives, to adapt and thrive. So we need to encourage and provide opportunities for adults to continue their education and upskill. India has made significant progress in achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on quality education. The country has made significant strides in improving access to education and reducing the gender gap in education. However, there is still a long way to go to ensure that every child in India has access to quality education. One of the major challenges in India is the quality of education. Many children in India attend school but do not receive a quality education, as I did earlier also. So the education system in India needs to focus on improving the quality education, including the curriculum reform, teacher training, faculty development program, and the use of technology and tools to enhance learning outcomes. Another challenge is access to education. While the government has made significant progress to increasing access to education by implementing NEP 2020 and many policies, but many children in rural areas and those from disadvantaged communities still do not have access to education. And the government needs to continue to invest in building schools and improving infrastructures in rural areas to ensure that every child has access to education. It will not take much time, just 2-3 minutes more. The gender gap in education has also been a significant challenge in India. While there has been significant progress in recent years, girls still lag behind boys in access to education, particularly in rural areas. So the government needs to continue to invest in programs that promote gender equality in education and address cultural attitudes that discourage girls from attending school. Now, the sustainability is crucial to ensuring that quality education is available to all, both now and in the future. So there are some ways which sustainability can be incorporated into education system to ensure quality education. So there are, 5 sustainabilities according to me. First is environmental sustainability. So incorporating environmental sustainability into the education system can help to create a more sustainable future. And this can be done by promoting environmental education, teaching students about the importance of conservation and sustainability, and encouraging sustainable practices in schools and communities. Then second is economic sustainability. Economic sustainability involves ensuring that the education system is affordable and accessible to all. So this can be achieved by providing financial support to students from disadvantaged backgrounds and reducing the cost of education and promoting entrepreneurship and job readiness. The third is social sustainability. Social sustainability is about creating an inclusive and equitable education system that meets the needs of all students. And this can be achieved by promoting gender equality, providing education to marginalized communities, and creating a safe and inclusive learning environment for all students. Then fourth is technological sustainability. Technology can play a significant role in promoting quality education, but it is important to ensure that technology is used in a sustainable way. So this can be achieved by using energy efficient technology, promoting the recycle of e-waste, and ensuring the technology is accessible to all students regardless of their background. And the last one is institutional sustainability. Institutional sustainability involves ensuring that the education system is well managed and resources are used effectively. So this can be achieved by creating a robust monitoring and evaluation system, promoting accountability and transparency, and ensuring that resources are allocated efficiently. And in conclusion, access to quality education is a basic human right that should be available to all. It is critical investment in the future of our society, and we cannot afford to ignore the crisis of inadequate education. Let us work together to ensure that every child has access to quality education and that we continue to learn and grow throughout our lives. While India has made significant progress in achieving the UN SDG on education, there is still a long way to go to ensure that every child in India has access to quality education. And the sustainability is essential to ensuring that quality education is available to all students by incorporating all these environmental, economic, social, technological, and institutional sustainability into the education system. We can create a more sustainable and equitable future. With this, I would like to congratulate Witty Gossip Association and all the team members, Dr. Supriya Pathak, and everyone who are supporting this unit, this noble cause UN SDG by organizing such a beautiful and mesmerizing conference today. And thank you so much for giving me opportunity to express my thoughts on this wonderful topic, which is quality education. Thank you so much, all the listeners. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mungankar. It was really an enchanted performance by you. We really loved listening to you when you have spoken about the access to the correct education quality. Thank you very much. We would just like you to request you to join your hands so that we can capture a picture of you. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pradeep.
Now, I would like to request to the Louis sir. Sir, please switch on your camera if possible. And Louis sir, actually from the bottom of my heart, I would like to say, sir, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Actually, you are a very special sir for us, and you have joined us for the very first time. We have the third season of the Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit. And so the team of Witty Gossip Association and the team of Expression Learning Resource Private Limited are very grateful to you, sir, because sir, you spare your valuable time, sir, with us. So thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Sir, would you like to say something about the students' participation and the faculty participation from the Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management, sir?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Supriya. It was absolutely astonishing being here today with you. It was a great honor, a great privilege. So first of all, of course, I would like to congratulate all the students for their outstanding performance and for their passion, for their achievements, and for believing that education is truly our common future. Because without education, we cannot build our society with values and principles. And these are the main pillars for going ahead into the 21st century with quality education as SDG 4 enlightens us all. So thanks again, Dr. Supriya, for inviting me. Of course, I would also like to thank Professor Rania Lampu again. And of course, extend my warmest greetings and thanks to our host, our esteemed host, our dear colleagues, our dear friends from across the globe, united here in this alliance with education towards our future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Thank you, sir. Yes. Now we have the students of the our global convener, Dr. Parul Sharda ma'am. Dr. Parul Sharda ma'am, your student is ready. Dr. Parul Sharda ma'am, yes. Dr. Parul ma'am, are you there?
Yes, she is available.
Yeah, Dr. Parul ma'am actually is available, but she is not.
Her student's name is Asta, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Dr. Parul's student name is Astha. Yes. So, Astha, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So,
Begin with your.
Astha, please continue. Yeah, Astha, please continue. Ma'am, before starting her presentation, I would like to confirm. Dear ma'am, please let me know. Are you able to, ma'am, share the PPTs?
Ma'am, I
Lisa,
will
ma'am?
share my PPT by my own.
Oh, fine.
Okay. Yes, dear Astha, please continue.
Yes, ma'am, I will share my PPT.
Ma'am, this
Just
is my
just a
presentation.
minute, I'll share my PPT.
Like student from Vikrant will be presenting this, ma'am.
Asta, do you require any technical assistance? Miss Asta, do you
No,
require
ma'am.
any technical assistance?
Okay. Asta, what is the problem you are facing? First of all, please switch on your camera, Asta. Asta, I think you are facing some network issues because your network bandwidth is very low, dear.
Ma'am, can you please wait for 2 minutes? I'll continue.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
you are unable to share your PPT. Yes, okay.
Okay. Are you sharing your PPT from your phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Lisa ma'am, do you have the PPT of Astha?
I don't have Asta's PPT. It is not yet sent to me. I have, can we do one thing? Can we proceed with any other student and then we can come back to Asta? Um, Dr. Supriya, your mic is mute.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, let me check.
Yeah, I will call on to Anjali. Anjali. She is also a student from Vikrant Institute. Anjali, are you there amongst us? Please put on your mic. Anjali, are you there?
Gunjan ma'am, please check whether the student is present or not.
Or Parinita? Is Parinita there?
Dr. Gunjan, are you there?
Okay, fine. Let's not waste a lot of time. We can wait for them when they come down. Till then, we can go ahead with any one of the other speakers.
Ma'am, actually, now we have done with the all speakers. Only the student participations is left. Yes. Okay, so
And at the
actually, I
moment,
can. Yes.
yeah, we don't have anybody from their team in the.
Okay.
Madam,
No issue.
Ms. Shukla, are you there?
Lisa ma'am, just hold on. I am calling Dr. Gunjan Shukla ma'am. Okay.
Asta, please share your PPT to me. I am texting you my number in the chat box. Okay? Share your PPT to me. I will share from
Yes,
my
ma'am.
end. Yes, Asta, I have shared you my number. Please share your PPT to me. Asta, did you share me your PPT? Do you want me to share my mail ID to you so that you can mail it to me in case if you're not comfortable in sharing it on WhatsApp?
Again, I'm requesting Dr. Gunjan Shukla. Are you there?
I think so. She is having some technical errors.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, how many students from the Vikrant group of institution? You have
I have
any?
three names with me.
Uh-huh. You have three PPT?
I have two PPTs.
Okay.
One is Anjali's PPT and Parinita. But
Anjali and Parinita,
unfortunately,
and both are not available,
both
right,
of
ma'am?
them are not available. Yes. Unfortunately, both of them are not available. Just in case if you are logged in with any other name, please let us know. We can put you in the spotlight and give you the access to go ahead.
No, ma'am. I think both students are not available. Okay. Anyways, ma'am, we can do one thing. Ma'am, we will actually give the chance to both students go on some another day. Right, ma'am?
Fine.
Yes. Okay. So just hold on. Let me check. Parul Sharda ma'am is here or not? No. Parul Sharda ma'am is also not here. No issue. Okay.
Don't
So
have
I
any.
think, ma'am, it is the time to end the meeting, right? Okay. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining this meeting. I would like to thanks from bottom of my heart on behalf of Team Witty Gossip Association, on behalf of Team Expression Learning Resource Private Limited. First of all, I would like to also thank to one of my mentor from the land of Philippines, Dr. Steve Christopher Wong. Dr. Steve Christopher, thank you very much for joining us. Actually, this is the third time you have joined us. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
Uh,
very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I would like to also thank Estara, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us from the Malaysia. Christiana, thank you very much for joining us. And all the guest speakers, all the student participations, all the faculty members, from bottom of my heart, I am very grateful because just because of your enthusiasm, your intellectual participation, today, we have successfully accomplished the day 4 and we actually successfully address the SDG 4 quality education. Yes, now Dr. Gunjan Shukla is here. Ma'am, we will consider the your student participation on some another day, ma'am. Don't worry. Yes. Okay. So thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Here from the team of Witty Gossip Association and team of Expression Learning Resource Private Limited, I would like to give my special thank to the team of Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management because their students and all the faculty members are awesome, amazing. Thank you very much, our chief guest Thomas sir, for your wonderful leadership, for your wonderful guidance. So your guidance was amazing. We are actually truly humbled because just because of your support, Sir, we have successfully accomplished the day 4. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Tomorrow we will address the SDG 5. So please be with us. Thank you. Thank you, each and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, speakers around the globe. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.